talking shit behind my back. All the shit you said made you look like a little bitch flathead. Your opinion, bitch, fuck that. What do I think of you? How I love in your face, bitch, if you only knew. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Party till I die, with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make her work, work. Shake that money maker in my face. It's a favor, ooh, I love your misbehavior. Party till I die, with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make her work, work. Shake that money maker in my face. It's a favor, ooh, I love your misbehavior. Party till I die, with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back.
Let's get retarded, everybody. Let's get retarded, everybody. Let's get retarded, everybody. Let's get retarded. Come on.
No one is pork. This is a market for decentralized forms of pork. If people were pork, their assets would be going up because there would be demand for pork. Tweets aren't pork. We vote with our pork here. No one is pork. This is a market for decentralized forms of pork. If people were pork, their assets would be going up because there would be demand for pork. Tweets aren't pork. We vote with our pork here. We vote with our pork here. No one is pork. This is a market for decentralized forms of pork. If people were pork, their assets would be going up because there would be demand for pork. Tweets aren't pork. We vote with our pork here. No one is pork. This is a market for decentralized forms of pork. If people were pork, their assets would be going up because there would be demand for pork. Tweets aren't pork. We vote with our pork here. No one is pork. This is a market for decentralized forms of pork. If people were pork, their assets would be going up because there would be demand for pork. Tweets aren't pork. We vote with our pork here.
Gotta flex.
Welcome, everybody, to Have a Take with Chair and Lake. I am Chair, and hosting with me, as always, is Lake. Hello, Lake.
Hello, Chair. I'm doing well on this afternoon on the West Coast.
Feeling good. The weather is good. How has your
Well, the
week been?
weather is not good. Well, it depends. If you like cold winter like weather in the summer, then San Francisco you'll love it because it's been fog and 50 to 60 degrees for a month now, and sometimes colder than that. And like the southern equator, like the guys in the southern hemisphere, I suppose, it's winter now for them. And I was in Argentina last year in summer, and I gotta say it's colder in San Francisco than it was in the winter of Argentina at this time. So
You see, this is what people from the Bay Area do. They tell you how bad the weather is in the summer.
well, it's summer, and I haven't
trying
seen
to
the
keep
sun.
you away. They're
I
trying to
haven't
keep
seen-
you away.
I haven't seen the sun
85.
in a month. I went to a concert, a free concert, Stern Grove Festival. It's also been Pride Month, which is a big deal in San Francisco. And
Why do you sound upset?
no, but I'm just like, I was in the middle of a forest. It was beautiful. Stern Grove Festival, free concert. It's amazing. It was Slater Kinney, which is the Carrie Brownstein band, she was in Portlandia. If you've ever seen that show.
Is she
Yeah.
the lady in Portlandia?
Yeah. So like it's amazing if you only know her from Portlandia. Like she really rocks it out. Like it's pretty amazing how good she is. And then there was this this band called Destroy Boys, which despite its name was actually decent. And unless you like that type of thing, Destroy Boys. But it was freezing, and it was like a June concert in a park, open, But it actually was like we had like 5 minutes of sunshine, so that was cool.
I think I'd rather be on the colder side at a festival where things can sweat, can't escape the heat.
It's better
Like
than
layer
a heat
against
wave.
the cold.
It's better than 100 degrees. Plus, I've lived in 100-degree weather, or like I've been in Vegas. I went to Vegas many times for like NBA Summer League, and I prefer this than that. But it is sometimes nice when it's summer to see the sun, and after a month. And even someone who likes the fog and who like writes about with fog themed stories, kind of sick of it.
Well, like all of the problems in the Bay Area, you did it to yourselves.
Yeah. Oh, we wear it with a badge of honor, and like when you guys have these smoke storms from fire season, we like the fog pushes it away. It keeps it temperate. It's actually it's tropical weather here, and no one really understands that it is because it's so foggy. But that's just because it's next to the ocean, and so yeah, I mean, in September, October, it's going to be 70 degrees, 65 to 70 degrees sun, and we all know, so we're all waiting on that. We have that type of like our summer, September, October. And in the winter, it's really not that cold. So it's just June, July gets a lot of people leave because it gets a little depressing for sure.
Well, this has been our Bay Area weather talk
Yeah.
portion of our program. You are sitting at Chair's table. This is Have a Take with Chair and Lake. Thank you to all our returning viewers. And if you are a new viewer, we've been going now for a few weeks, and I have been fiddling around the greater crypto space for a little while now, or the better part of a decade. Lake is a newer member of the community.
Rookie.
And so what started with seemingly being rugged for $50 trying to onboard some fiat into crypto turned into us documenting his greater journey into this wonderfully warm and not dangerous at all space.
No, my toe is still in the water, but it's definitely like maybe a foot now, I'm not in the deep end like you, I still I'm still checking out. Speaking of temperature, I'm still checking out how if I want to jump in or not, but I'm definitely interested. And I think I think it's the future in a lot of ways, and so I'm eager to learn.
I think it's you are a creator, and
Oh yeah,
unfortunately, that term, like
creator.
or creators in the crypto space, and with NFTs and the like from a few cycles past, have it that term has been co-opted. So maybe I won't use it. But you are a writer. You are a writer of books, a man of literature and letters, if
Yeah.
not numbers. Your most recent publishing is right behind you there. It is Tailored in Blood Volume 2, Morning Mist, available on Amazon for free. For
No,
Prime
not
members,
it's
is
not
that
free
correct?
anymore. Oh, for
Uh,
KDP members, yes, it's free. If you belong to the Kindle Direct,
Else, it will cost you $1 or $2 on Amazon. Tailored in Blood, Morning Mist. Check it out.
But Volume 1 will be free in a couple weeks, and so then once you like fall in love with Volume 1, you will more than be happy to put the couple dollars, as we said, or a few, and the next one is Cher is helping me right now. Well, it's not helping, but he's helping me with the logistics of crypto, because that is a theme, and there might be a spin-off series developing that will be completely crypto oriented. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how many people buy the series. And, Cher is a big fan and he has great taste. So maybe you guys too, And that, talking about the creator space, I was going to say, like, part of the reason I like kind of is interested in crypto was like the memes you showed me, and also the sense of humor and the cynicism. And I love all of that. So that was also like, when you mentioned that, I wanted to say like there is a lot of kind of creativity and funny stuff going on.
Yeah, it's an amazing mix of dystopia, anarchy, irreverence, nihilism, mental health issues, homosexuality, the whole bit, prostitution, pimping. It's all present.
It sounds like you're describing Elon Musk and Puff Daddy if they had
in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area, if they came together. And that was actually the show I was telling you about, which was on HBO Max, was The Anarchists. And I thought it was a recent show, but I guess it came out 3 years ago, about a bunch of anarchists that moved to Acapulco for whatever reason. But actually, like, describing, like, everything you just said describes almost every character in that show. And there's a real crypto angle also. So I would check it out. I have nothing to do with the show. I binged it over 2 days, 6 episodes, and I thought it was great. And I think it was really relevant to what we were talking about.
I'm eager to check it out. Well, next time I plop down for a good binge and veg session, it's on my list. Absolutely. What's on your mind this week, Lake?
Well, we were, I'm not going to go into what happened to me, but we were talking about scams, and I may or may not have been scammed, just because I'm writing a book that essentially revolves around scams. Obviously, I would not be scammed myself, but it might have happened regardless.
I take this as an act of God taking you through. So how else could you be intimately familiar with this? Have the perspective of all sides, or hopefully not all sides, but at least the victim side.
Yeah.
Of what?
It's going to make the book. It's going to make the book better. It's going to make the show better, and so that's the positives. And it was not a crypto scam. Let me just put that out. If it even happened. But I did want to be like, part of the reason I came on, or this show kind of exists, is to, like, buyer beware and how to avoid scams, because crypto apparently is filled with them. And like I said, it's not the only space, but it's so new. And actually, in the Anarchists, I don't want to give too much away, but like, one guy basically like turns down saving his life, health, like going to the hospital, because he doesn't want to, like, he got scammed out of all his money and he didn't want his family spending another like dime on him. So like, it's pretty serious. Like, it could be pretty serious what happens. And so we want to, like, for a neophyte like me, or even like for some seasoned vets, or anything in between, we just want to go over like scams, but also like we kind of went over like the pump and dump and rug pulls and Ponzi schemes. And, you know, we went over like 8 or 9 last week. But this week, I was like, so let's do some prevention. We mentioned how we need to, when you like, how do you not lose your money in the wallet exchanges? Check the first 4, check the last 4. But then with scams, now you got to check kind of like a middle 4 as an extra layer of precaution.
Or like memorize half of it at this point or something. Yeah.
Right. But there's like what, 15 to 18 letters, or a combination of letter numbers.
18, I believe. Yeah.
18. So it's not designed for you to memorize that much.
More 32.
Yeah. So you
Hold
have
on.
to be careful. So definitely 4 was the way to check it, as you explained to me, to check to make sure that it's going to the right wallet. And we went through my little dizzying array of like 3 different wallets and how to find it. It wasn't a scam. I just freaked out because like it went from one to the other, and now I understand that process. So that was a great learning experience in itself. But now we're talking about scams, how to so check as many numbers as you can in the right sequence, because people could apparently mirror your wallet and just change a few of the numbers and letters around, and now you're sending money to them, correct?
I think it's 64 or 60, 65. It's 0x and then 65, I believe. Yeah.
Per wallet?
Yeah. So it's like every Ethereum address. This is just for Ethereum. It
Oh,
starts
okay.
with a 0x. Ethereum and a lot of other chains too.
Yeah.
Starts with 0x and then whatever your wallet is. Okay. Your question was sorry. I'm gonna have you repeat your question. I just wanted to get confirmation there that
Yeah.
Ethereum address.
No,
is in
I'm
fact
saying like
67 characters long.
the question basically was why you need to check is because people can mirror the wallet address, change a couple of those 65 to make it look like and mirror definitely the first 4 and last 4. That will be the same. And then you are giving them the money you think you're sending to their wallet, you're actually sending to you think you're sending it to your wallet, but you're actually sending it to their wallet.
Correct. And I'll get into the details of that in a second, but I want to just for a moment ask the viewers that we have at the primarily on Twitter, if you could like and retweet this broadcast, it would help a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube or Twitch, please follow and like.
Yeah, have a take.
Sutton Dustley.
This is Have a Take with Sharon Lake. Just FYI, when you retweet it.
If you have a question or want to tell us how much you love us, just leave one in the chat anywhere you are. We will see it. Just leave your love note there. So your question is, and we're talking about address poisoning, or some sort of malware ends up on your computer where it recognizes when you are copying an address to your clipboard, and when you paste into a specific field, like in your browser extension wallet into the destination field, this piece of malware recognizes that and pastes in a similar appearing address, but an altogether different address that just appears like it's the same with the beginning and end.
And destination field is what it means. It's the destination it's going to.
Yeah, the destination address. Thank you. Yeah. Anytime I get too technical, it is Lake's responsibility to stop me from doing that. So the destination address.
No. You need to be technical. I'm here just to make you define it for us neophytes and 101 crypto people.
So you open your wallet, say, I'm going to send this person some value. You paste in an address you think is theirs because you just copied it from somewhere, and you even double copied it and made sure, and then you pasted it and it looks right, and you sent it away, and you just sent it to the attacker's controlled wallet.
So pick a random 8 to 10 digits. Apparently now it went from 4 to 10 in like a few weeks, because these people are like, that's their job, is to scam your money. So they are working on it so hard
all the time.
And so you have to like kind of, if you want to get into it, you have to work just as hard as them, and then make the right investments, which is not easy in that space.
There's no such thing as real people on the internet, and not even Lake and I are real.
Yeah.
And
or actually in real
contacts you. Yeah, really. You know who's real? Your family.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Everything else is
I think everyone has like 4 people that care about them actually in this world. If you have more than that, you're sus. That's my Gen A. That's for the Gen A folks. You're sus. So that's the first time I ever said that, and it sucks. But I'm gonna start using it. You know,
It's good that it's captured in the
I'm gonna
podcast.
use id, I'm gonna use sus. I'm gonna use cap. I'm hit. You know, but yeah,
That's pretty
it's sus.
chill.
It's really sus. So that was like one. That's like a major one. That's just like a basic. But there were other general axioms that we wanted to give you as a precaution and ways to avoid getting scammed, and kind of like a force field of knowledge. That's the writer. I gotta say, force field of knowledge. Let's go. And since I don't know any, I was going to ask you for a few tips. So, like, what would be like a major general axiom tip for the audience to protect yourself from sus?
sus I mean, and everything is sus. The problem, of course, with scams is that they are designed to not be sus, and most things are like confidence scams that are designed to gain your confidence before you deliver whatever value to them.
Yeah,
that was
if someone's asking you for Bitcoin money, just don't give it to them. Just don't. No
well,
one
certainly
needs
nobody.
Yeah, no, like, what if a celebrity says, "Oh, just send me some Bitcoin," or some crypto influencer? Just there's no reason to do that, right?
I mean, yeah, definitely. There's very little upside in sending away. Like, you want to know what before you want to ask yourself a few times before you send any crypto of any value anywhere. Like, what am I doing right now?
Remember the Prince of Nigeria scams when we were younger, and they would give you like an email? Like, that is basically, if there's a crypto influencer, just pretend he's the Prince of Nigeria. And it's like, why is the Prince of Nigeria contacting you?
And people, speaking just in terms of things that you always want to remember and things that you want to practice all of the time, 2-factor authentication for your sign-ins. It's really important everywhere anyway.
Well, that's like social media and all that.
Phone number. You don't want to use your phone number as often as you can. No, you want to use things like you want to use either an authenticator app or something even stronger than that, like a
Gmail, like a
YubiKey
app.
Yeah, or there are like USB style keys that you can use to essentially they act like
where
a
can you
car
get these keys?
On Amazon or I think Yubico, YUBICO is the probably the leading brand in terms of that, like the NFA or NFC rather, NFC and USB-C.
And what is that too?
Style keys.
Or what? Or
so
how
that
does it
you
work?
use that for 2-factor authentication. So let's say, and this is for, this is not just for crypto stuff. This is just in general. You should be locking, all of your things with this.
Right. But the not using your phone now is new for me.
So right now, if you're using 2FA with a phone and you log into your email, let's say, and it sends you a text with a code to your phone. What if your attacker also has access to your phone? You're kind of screwed. With one of those keys, with a YubiKey, you need that just like you physically need the key to your car to start it. You need to have that physically as you're trying to access your account, and thus and it's a very high level of encryption and security, so it's very difficult to spoof those keys. That's why it's the preferred, I think, method at this point.
Well, the thing with the phone, and the thing that happens is, like, I'll have all these special precautions and then I'll lose that key or forget something. Like, what happens if you lose that key?
You want to have this is a good topic for crypto specifically. You want to have backups, and you want to know what you're doing with your backups, right? So, like, if you're creating one key, you want to be creating multiple keys right at the very beginning. You don't want to just be creating one backup key and then that's the key. You want to be creating a few and then putting them in different locations. And this applies exactly to the same to backing up your secret passphrase for your wallets, especially then. And you need to know the difference between a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange and a decentralized self-custodial wallet,
Mhm.
because those wallets generate a private key
So
for
right now
you.
we have the key, private key. So how does it generate that key? Like I don't understand that part.
Yeah.
You mean are
So
you talking about is this not the USB anymore? Is that separate?
this is separate.
Okay.
I moved on maybe a little
No,
bit
so
too
yeah,
quickly,
so
but
we have
like,
the USB key, and this is the second way to
yeah.
authenticate.
But
And
at
these
the
are
at the very least, like an authenticator app, and you don't want to be using your phone number as backups for things as like anywhere really as
yeah,
much as you can. But and then when we saying like the YubiKey or those types of like hardware keys,
yeah,
you want to make multiples of them the same like you want to make multiples of your passphrase for your self-custodial wallets. So the wallets
right.
that you control the crypto. If you lose your password to those, you lose your backups. Nobody's getting that back for you. And so you have
Yeah.
to understand as you're setting them up in the beginning. So it's like slightly annoying, but if you know what you're doing, like it should be, you
Well,
should be efficient at it.
when you helped me set up my wallet, I got 12 seed phrases, and there were 12 random
12
words.
words, right?
12 random words that I wrote down somewhere, and I
There could
really
be
hope I didn't
12
lose.
or 24. They come into, you can get 12 words or 24 words sometimes.
And if you lose that, you're screwed.
Correct.
Yeah. So
And you don't want to save those anywhere on your computer
right.
or put them anywhere in the cloud. You do not want to take a picture of them. You want to write them down on a physical
So
piece
you're
of
pretty
paper.
much guaranteed to lose. There's some 24 words, and it's not on your phone, and it's written down, no picture. Like, how are you supposed to do that?
It's the price that you pay for the type of power that you're otherwise getting.
So
with
where can we
access
store
to.
that besides just writing it on a piece of paper?
So you can encrypt. You can have what's called an air gap device that never touches the internet, right? Like a laptop, and it can even be an old laptop that like
Okay,
it's white,
yeah.
or like an even older laptop that doesn't have any Wi-Fi capabilities, or like it can only use wired internet, something like that. For instance, and you can save digital copies there, right? But
Yeah.
like as soon as any device touches a device that's connected to the
How
internet,
about can I put it on like a
it's also-
USB device?
if
Save
it's
it on there.
encrypted, it's highly encrypted. If it's encrypted, it's password protected. And then like you have to think like, what was the machine that I was using to
Wow.
create that USB with like what kind of access or what kind of exposure does that machine have? By the way, folks, I'm not in any way a security expert. I've just learned these things over time.
Yeah.
Being around and being in the space, and like you cannot and you should not take this as like a final word, and very much always do your own research on things about
Look,
things.
if any audience member takes this advice and it doesn't work, just blame Chair, and that's the end. That's the end of it. You know, no, but it is good advice, and it's stuff you have to know. So wait, can you choose one or the other, or do you need both? Can you just have the hardware device, or do you need this also the seed phrases as well?
No, you're always for any wallet that you create, want to write down your seed phrase. You can add additional things to, because like here's the thing. This is a really important point. If there's one point that everyone takes away today, it should be this point: that when you're using a wallet like MetaMask, let's say, you download the browser extension, you are creating an account for the first time. MetaMask is randomly generating 12 or 24 words that act as like the core, the seed of your of your wallet address. Wallet addresses, by the way, because that's generating a private key, and you can generate many public keys off of a private key, but you can also generate many private keys off of the seed phrase. So the seed phrase is literally the seed of everything else that you do. And those, by the way, if anybody like cares, it's on an elliptical curve. It's like elliptic curve it's an elliptic curve algorithm, I believe. So it takes those 24 words, 12 words, which are like unique. It's a unique combination of
Oh,
letters,
so
right? And you
it has to be sequenced. It can't. You have to
Yes.
remember the order that you gave it.
Correct, because it's
Yeah.
essentially a password, just a really long password,
Okay.
right? And there's like
Right.
a list of like, I don't even know how many words, the thousands and thousands of words to choose from to create that. So there's like a limited, somewhat limited set of words that you can create that seed phrase on, but the possible combination of all of those words
yeah.
makes it so it's like very fucking difficult to guess someone's password. So
For
right. So those words can generate many private keys. In this case, let's just say it generates one, right? So that's your private key. Nobody should know that, but your private key also has a public key, and that's your address. That's where people send value, right? And you can generate more. You can generate a lot. I don't know what the limit is, but a lot of new addresses just off of those seed phrases. So one seed phrase can generate 50, 100 public keys so that you can have one seed phrase that
But it has to be within like the. So like I have like I'm not endorsing anything. So I have the Rabbi. I have
yeah,
a couple others. So that is specific to that though, right? The seed phrase.
No.
Like I can't use that seed.
No.
So I could use that seed
Yes.
phrase and use it for any of them.
Yes. You can generate a seed phrase in one place and use it anywhere else on Ethereum. Yes.
So you just have to remember the address and a correlation to the seed phrase, and you're good.
You don't want to have to remember any of it. You don't want to have to remember your seed phrase because you wrote it down, you put it away. You don't even want to have to remember your I mean, you want to remember your address, but there's, most people can't memorize the 67 strings.
No, I'm not memorized, but like I'm saying, like how you need to know that the wallet and your seed phrase, like I guess. So you're saying you can take that wallet anywhere. That specific wallet has
Correct.
Seed phrases.
Correct. So you can walk if you have you can memorize your 24 words. That's a lot easier.
Actually, I was going to say don't do that because like, and we'll get into it later. Like people are getting physically kidnapped and tortured, and so
right. Yeah. No. Actually, this is a good segue. In that, like, what's important, the importance to wrap it up is your seed phrase can generate many addresses, and it's very, very important to write down physically your seed phrase and never save it to the cloud or anywhere else that anyone could come upon it. Because if they come upon it, they have come upon any value that's in those addresses. And what people are looking for when they attack and accost and mug people in those things is that seed phrase or just access to a hardware wallet or a password or a PIN to a hardware wallet.
So to recap we did this just third time I'm going to say it. Check, the destination wallet address that you're sending it to. Check first four and last four. That's as basic as you get. Now for the scammers, you got to be a little more intricate and maybe take like a random 8 to 10 sequence in the middle and make sure that correlates. And then so that's just making sure you send it to the right wallet destination. And now we're saying to not get hacked, protect your seed phrase, which is like an authenticator, a 2FA part, and there's 12 to 24 words there. And then also there is a hardware you could buy specifically to protect your crypto. That's like a key that you need to open the wallet, address, lock, whatever, like the treasure chest. And you can get that anywhere, and that could also be your second authentication, correct? And never use your phone.
Yeah, to avoid using your phone. Yeah, that's a good summation.
Cool. So it's rough waters in the beginning, but I do think actually having just listened to all these scams, like I don't know, that might not even be sufficient soon. So it might seem difficult.
Repetition, repetition and just like dealing with these things helps a lot. The dealing with the scams is a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing. And even before scams, there's just people that are looking to physically overwhelm you to get to crypto.
I have an article here.
By the way, folks, if you are watching, we certainly do appreciate it. If you're watching live, if you could like and retweet the stream on wherever you are at, probably Twitter, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
So there are people basically. I don't want to get too like because they're using names, and so this is an article from the Guardian, which I believe is out of London. And so people, kidnappings of cryptocurrency industry figures have surged in the past 18 months. So here's a guy there. I'm not going to use his name, but he grew up in Karachi, Pakistan. He had a lot of money. And then a knock on the door on Christmas Day, 2024. A group of men bundled him into the back of a flashing police car. They darted through checkpoints with ease, driving further away from Karachi, Pakistan, and into the night. After an hour, they stopped with the gun to his temple. Artisan was ordered to take out his phone, reset its passwords, and hand it over. Holding the keys to his kingdom, the car sped away. Once home, this man ran into the computer and opened his Binance wallet. It was empty. As he stared at the zeros on the screen, 5 years of sacrifice washed over him. And then, that's what happened. So, like, there's no real recourse to get that money back, even if he goes to the police. And so they're saying increase in kidnappings, 231 physical attacks against digital asset holders to date. Almost a third of these have taken place since the start of 2024. So it's happening at 230 in about 18 months. And I guess what's a third of that? 80 in the last 18 months. That's they're being like, it doesn't seem like a lot, maybe if it's like random muggies, but these are targeted. They're researching you, they're finding you. So
Yeah.
they're pretending to be police. They put a gun to your head, they take your wallet, and there's not, like we said, there's not much regulation. So there's not like a credit card where they can just like give you the money back. And so there's a very high chance that, like, unless you know about insurance or something that you want to mention, that's gone, right?
Yeah, it's gone. Like once your wallet is drained, and once that value has been transferred to a wallet you do not control, you are.
And the government can't help you out.
I mean, they can find the perpetrator of the physical
Oh yeah,
action,
which is not. Good luck.
Depends on how far up the chain they are motivated to chase any given case.
But like the higher the target, likely the better the terrorists, and the better the
Higher the value, the more resources the victim has. La la la.
Like you don't try to go into the biggest vault if you're an amateur. So if you're like a billionaire Bitcoin guy and you get attacked, these guys are not going to just be some like random punks. It's going to be like a huge network of dozens of people that are working you.
Yeah, and like another good note, like anything that's over a month's worth of like the salary you earn if you're working is how, like, you should always have that in a more secure cold storage sort of location. You don't
So like
want
diversify.
Yeah, diversify the locations of your thing, and again, like devices that you're not interacting with every day, or device or addresses, and like addresses secured in a way that aren't like the thing that you're interacting with.
But you should have some like when you always need to carry money around in case you get mugged. When I learned this as a kid, this was just the advice. Like if you get mugged and you don't have any money, they'll kill you. Like they get pissed. So you got to give them something. So you better have something to give them because they're not going through.
You always have the emergency backup.
No, I'm saying like you better give them you better have, if you have a lot like millions in it, you better have like $1 million to give them because they're gonna like torture you. They're not gonna believe you. They're not gonna stop. So you need to give them enough to like let you go.
I see what you're saying.
Because imagine these guys did all this work and you're like give them $15,000. They're gonna torture you. That's not enough for them. They're not gonna believe you. Like they've targeted you. So. Right. You need to have like at least one USB key or whatever to be like, here it is, and it's enough for them to like piss off, and you're not like gonna lose everything,
Yeah,
that's just my
operational security tactics and contingency plans, and yeah, it's all something that everyone needs to think about because that's what we trade. Like we trade all of these conveniences like account recovery and fraudulent transaction reversal and all of that. And that's great. But at the end of the day, if the institution wants to limit or restrict your access to services or the institution altogether, it doesn't matter what your account balance was.
Yeah.
And that's the freedom that this technology gives people. People have never really been this free or had this type of access to it before. So
It
that's
sounds
why
like a high
feel
risk,
exciting.
high risk, high reward type thing.
Certainly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like the worst thing to get into, but it is if you don't know what you're doing. Like, that's why I had $50. So like, worst comes to worst, I had $50. That's really not like, I don't know how little money you have. You could probably afford to lose $50, I would hope. But this guy lost, 5 years. He did everything right. He invested. He had an audience. Just like he was speaking like kind of like us. And again, if anyone's listening, I have like $50 in my wallet. Shouldn't target me. But it's gone. And like, he's lucky he's alive. I mean, he doesn't probably feel that way, but he's lucky that he's alive, and it only cost him whatever it cost him. Like, but yeah, it'd be nice. He probably wishes he had $1 million or something in a USB at least, or something. So definitely have some, it's the equivalent, I guess, of putting some money under your mattress, for a rainy day. It's just always good to do.
Interesting. I'm gonna look. I'll dig around and like, and it's an interesting thing, and like people don't talk about it a lot, but like there are extremely wealthy people that have a fuckload of crypto, and they don't trust. Like they're doing all of their own security. So one thing Vitalik described, Vitalik Buterin, one of the founders of Ethereum, who, by the way, received a $100,000 grant from Peter Thiel to start his journey from dropping out of college to founding Ethereum.
Peter Thiel, who just recently would not refute, this guy straight up asked him, do you think that like humans should exist in 100 years? And he could not give a straight answer. Just by the way, that's how he thinks.
I'm sure he wishes everyone the best.
I'm glad you're sure. I am not. But yeah, successful PayPal, right? He's PayPal.
Yeah, he's everything. I don't even want to say the name of his other stuff. The process that Vitalik described of him recovering his wallet during COVID when he was stuck in Singapore, he wrote out not his secret passphrase, but his actual private key, which is very long, longer than the 67, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
And he wrote it out on a piece of paper, took half of it with him when he left Toronto, and left half of it in the safe in his parents' house. And that wallet ended up getting hundreds of millions of dollars of value sent to it during the Shiba Inu run, and other such times. Like, there's been many cases where, because Vitalik's address is public, people just send him stuff, right? So tokens, when they're launching to promote, one thing they do to promote is send Vitalik some, right? And some project, like a project did that, and then the project absolutely exploded in value, and so now he had hundreds of millions of dollars in his wallet that he needed access to. So his parents read off half of the private key back to him. He had the other half, and that way it was never even on the phone or whatever. Even if anyone's listening, they only have half.
So the terrorists could target his parents now. Great.
But they only have half.
Well,
they still have to get him. They would have to get them both at the same time to actually get to it. And if there is he probably, it's something like, how do you get, I'll say this, and I'll protect the person that I learned this from.
Please.
But I learned from a very high net worth individual that part of what they do is never advertise where, you can't concretely advertise where you're going.
Or like who has the other half, for instance.
Oh, but it's just even your physical movements. Period.
Oh yeah, Don't
You
stay on social
don't
media. Don't
make
check into that party
commitments.
in Dubai.
Oh, not even that. Or I mean, yeah, let alone all of that. But even in your private affairs, you have to be very careful of what you
Oh, I
commit
see.
to and
Yeah.
on what time
Because
frame
they
and
can
where
get
you
to your close ones.
anyone, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like so that's how so like mo money, mo problem type situation where uh yeah, that's what it is.
And by the way, like for the US at least, like there have been significant Doge, so it's kind of about crypto. Doge made, and I don't know, maybe how much responsible Doge is, but let's just say Doge cut, and Kash Patel, who's head of the FBI, they cut like 3,000 agents, and these were people that were working on stuff like that. So you're on your own. Like even if the FBI could have helped you, now they can't. Like they've gutted that industry, which a lot of people are happy because like Jim Comey or something. I mean, Jim Comey sucks, but like doesn't mean maybe we should still have the FBI working. But anyway, so like you're on your own now, and like the FBI won't help you. Trump, we could talk about Trump and how he's like he's a big Bitcoin guy and how he's going to repeal certain things. But can I read the transcript of this Peter Thiel thing real quick?
yeah.
So, but basically, just before we move on, we'll have a summation. So we've talked about how to like have your USB key, your seed phrases, and now we're talking about how rich Bitcoin wealthy individuals are being targeted and being kidnapped, about 80 in the last 18 months. And like these people are millionaires, if not billionaires, in crypto market, I would assume. And so we're discussing about how to protect yourself, how don't tell people where you are, definitely don't check in on social media. And then also, in my opinion, you need to have at least some money on you if you want to not have them torture and kill you. And so that's just also feel like walking in like San Francisco or New York or LA or whatever, and you think you're going to get mugged. It's always good to have some like at least $40 to give them. And because like they do get mad, apparently, muggers, if you don't give them anything, or they won't believe you. So in my opinion, if you're like a crypto billionaire, I'm saying like just give them like 2 million, like have a key of 2 million, so they don't like.
Now they know that they.
But here's the
it's still a 2 million score.
Yeah, but like they're happy at least. Like imagine they went through all this work. You know how much preparation that is to like pretend to be police, throw in the back of the car, take the risk, and you get $20,000 out of it. They're not going to settle for that. You know, they're going to kill you, and they're going to make a message. There's a point, at least. It's a point to say like, look, you don't fuck. You're trying to fuck with us in 20K. We're going to like, you know, like how the Mexican cartel will like string up people to make like, don't mess with us. You know.
I can't wait for part 3 of Tailored in Blood. The part that features you're going to go.
Yeah, I should add this whole. This could be on the spin-off series. So before I read the transcript, any more general axioms or ways to protect yourself? I think we went through a lot, but
tune in next time for more, and we'll keep taking Lake and anyone who else wants to come to the table along this journey.
So we're going to talk about a couple more subjects real quick, and then we'll elaborate more next week. We wanted to make sure that everyone's safe and not getting scammed. Maybe like me or maybe not like me. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to pretend like even if it happened, it didn't happen. So now we're in this space in my mind where it could be dubious. But here is the Peter Thiel transcript. I don't want to play the video because I don't know the rights. So he was being interviewed by, I forget the guy. His name is Duthot, whatever. So you would prefer, so he's interviewing Peter Thiel. He goes, you would prefer the human race to endure, right? Thiel paused and didn't answer right away. You're hesitating, Duthot said. As Thiel tried to gather his thoughts, Duthot said, this is a long hesitation. Should the human race survive? The host asked again. Yes, Thiel responded. So I give him credit on the third, after thinking about it for multiple minutes, and on the third time he got asked, he did say the human race should survive. And this is my theory on the billionaires.
He's thoughtful. He takes time to answer his questions.
I mean, even on the basic, not like should humanity survive or morals survive or coexistence, just should there be humans? in the future. But this is my theory of billionaires, real quick. A little off topic, but kind of on topic because they are so involved in crypto. I think that they prefer to have the world destroyed. This is my honest opinion. They talk about leaving Earth and creating Mars, or Bezos actually talks about like a spaceship where there's like 1,000 people living, like little communities. And I think that they rather live on some alternate planet with like a couple, maybe 100,000 people total, or on a spaceships, like multiple spaceships, like towns, and destroy the Earth than have everyone happy. Because all they talk about, like, look, this guy cannot give you a straight answer right away if humanity should exist. And he's a billionaire. And we've heard Elon Musk talking about going to Mars all the time. Jeff Bezos is talking about spaceships in the sky. I mean, maybe they just really are like so obsessed with this notion of the world coming to the end that they, with the resources and ability, can actually make it happen. And then I think that's like kind of like it's like a fantasy. I'm not saying that they're going to do it, but like I do think they like think about it a lot. And so, do you want to have them control AI, which can like trigger a nuclear holocaust? Maybe not, And I'm a big AI guy. Like I use AI, but I'm saying like maybe not them. I don't know if it takes them that long to answer that question, and he has to be asked multiple times.
The transhumanism stuff is weird and scary, and we can definitely dive deeper into it on our next show. Yeah. It's not a hot topic, but it's current. It's very current. Grim. Well, I mean, why? Like, nobody wants to die, right? But there are people who have like life extension. At least that's very.
That's what's that show? Westworld. That was like a whole plot line for a season.
But to me, it's a different thing entirely to try to upload my consciousness or migrate my awareness to a different vessel. I think that is a completely different thing.
And to think to think that you're going to be the same and it's just in a different vessel with like it's just. But that's actually the whole Westworld was the whole thing about that. That was like that's when it went off the rails, in my opinion. It was a show on HBO. And then the guy who made Succession, which is one of my favorite shows, he wrote this movie on HBO called Fountainhead. And a lot of people didn't like it, but like there's a bunch of billionaires in a cabin in the snow, and they kind of talk about this, and like everyone was like, it's so unrealistic. And I'm like, I don't know, like he nailed Succession. Succession was so realistic about the Murdochs and Fox News owners and their kids. Like, I don't know. I think that he might know something we don't. And so the movie wasn't great. I liked it. A lot of people didn't, but that's Fountainhead on HBO. Okay. So, yeah, it was kind of good. I mean, it's a comedy. It's absurdist, but I think like if you watch Succession, you kind of know what I'm talking about. If you're not like it has a Succession feel. It's not as well done because he kind of rushed it, but Steve Carell, Rami Youssef, Jason Schwartzman, pretty good cast. Okay, so something we were going to talk about before. I mean, not before. Something we discussed talking on the show, you and me, backstage, was this Robinhood getting into the crypto sphere. So, and as someone, I mean, I messed around with Robinhood for a while. Nothing big, maybe a couple of grand over my lifetime. We had yeah, I know. When you have it, you have it. But
you didn't lose money. That's great.
No, I made like 50%. Like I made 1,000 on that. Let's say I put 2,000. It was a little more. But like I was very dedicated. Like I never took big risks. That was like over like 8 years. But I had a friend. We both know him. He went to our school with us, and he would like trade like nuts. And he would like make the most irrational moves and lose $1,000 so unnecessarily in a day or something, or hundreds of dollars just because he traded it, and then he would buy the same stock after it went down and up, and it was just like so irresponsible and so stupid. But I feel like that's what people are going to do now. But let me just read you this is from Readers by Niket Nishant and Manya Saini from June 30th. And it goes, Robinhood said on Monday it's launched tokens that allow its customers in the European Union, so I don't think in the US yet, to trade more than exchange traded funds, including NVIDIA, Apple, and Microsoft. And then Robinhood share hits a record high. Tokens will be issued through a partnership with blockchain firm Arbitrum. With the move, the company stands to benefit from rising global interest in the U.S. stock market, home to some of the world's most influential tech giants and leading beneficiaries of the AI boom. Tokenized equities mix traditional finance and crypto-like trading and have been gaining traction among international investors due to better access, flexible hours, and lower costs. And then I'll just end here, and then I'll ask you a question. Experts believe such tokens could dramatically alter securities investing landscape, though they currently lack regulatory clarity in the United States. And I believe, and I'm not sure, that this big, beautiful bill, as Trump called it, just passed through Congress, is going to affect this greatly. Now, I don't know how, and I don't know how accurate what I just said was, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. We've talked about how there's going to be capital gains tax, and we didn't talk about backstage how capital gains tax is going to be erased, but just for Bitcoin, not for like the other ones, and why that might be the case. Does Trump have a vested interest, even though, as you pointed out, his coin is not Bitcoin? It is, what is it? Solana or
Trump.
something?
Oh, it's on
You said
Solana.
it's Trump coin. Yeah, so it's Trump coin
It's
Solana. So
built in on Solana, yeah.
So technically, maybe that's not, but maybe, Bitcoin did finance his high school, army marching band thing that he did. His little,
Coinbase.
whatever you want to call it, does Coinbase. So maybe that was like a way to get them to do this, for him to shove it down in this big, quote unquote, big, beautiful bill. So my question is, so Robinhood allowed someone like me to get into the stock market, like I said, but like very little money. But like I said, we have another friend that was just going crazy with it and so irresponsible. This one dude, I remember GameStop. So like GameStop was my example of the greatness of Robinhood and kind of how maybe Robinhood's not well equipped for something like this.
Yeah.
Because it allowed someone like GameStop, and it allowed people like you and me to invest and short it and mess around with, the people that were manipulating the market on Robinhood or wherever. And but then so that was great in terms of like giving power to the common man. And they stopped it and they shut it down before it could really fuck things up for good.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they only allowed it to work when it worked in their benefit. They are front running everyone. Anyone who's trading on Robinhood, you are getting front ran by Robinhood themselves. So they look at whatever trade you're making and trade the other side of it to their own profit before they even input your trade.
So there's definitely something nefarious. Obviously, they're not like innocent, but I do think there was also a level of incompetence where they actually could not produce the money that was necessary for all these transactions, and they they also were like self-serving in that sense.
I don't think that's what it was.
Okay.
If those if the squeeze would have worked all the way, the people that were shorting GameStop would have lost billions and billions and billions.
Right.
Those are the same people that have a stake in, that are investors, stakeholders of Robinhood. So it only makes sense that they would stop, that they would shut shit down before they fucking lie, because they own the entity. They're motivated to do it. There's no reason they wouldn't. Like, they would be dumb not to have it, like, unless but they didn't get into billions and trillions of dollars level finance to be nice people. No. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, but maybe they were just also ill-equipped. But I mean, you're probably right. I also don't.
Not for the volume of trades. They were ill-equipped to pay the billions that they would have owed if they.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they were like, even if they didn't have a stake to do it, like you said, like there was personal, selfish, greedy, corrupt reasons, but also there was just like could not actually functionally facilitate. They got like people outsmarted them. And so like they had to shut it down, even if they were like innocent, quote unquote. So now I'm thinking, okay, with Bitcoin, now I can get into Bitcoin much easier because I have a Robinhood account, and I like when I was investing in stocks, like I invested in weed stocks because I smoke weed, like that was like, and then those were horrible stocks. but like I didn't lose that much money, but like they lost a lot of money for me. And then I would like look like based on like politics or whatever, and I would invest then, and I kind of got a hang of like how to do it, but it was like I didn't know what companies I was really investing in. And now there's like 10,000 Bitcoins, and they said there's going to limit it to 200. But even at 200 in Europe, that's a lot of options for a novice. And so what do you think? Do you think this is good for Bitcoin because it platforms it and makes it more accessible, it makes it more mainstream, it makes it more real to the average user, but also like just in general? Like, a lot of people think it's a Ponzi scheme and all this. So it's like, well, it's on Robinhood now. So it brings like a kind of legitimate, and besides the access, or legitimizes it. Or do you think it's going to be like another fucking manipulation and it's going to mess it all up?
I think I have a dualistic. I have a dualistic approach to this, and that anything that exposes more people to decentralized tech, like truly decentralized tech, it's an on ramp to Bitcoin, and my on ramp, and most everybody's on ramp to crypto is through some centralized entity. But the choice you have to make, I made it immediately. Because I was influenced by the people that I was influenced by at the time, which are like hardcore ETH people, to like move it off of the centralized exchange immediately into a wallet that you control. And that was something that was repeated over and over. It was a huge meme that's real and strong.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hold your value on centralized exchange.
That's a good question. Like, when the Robinhood, can you use your wallet with Robinhood even?
Well, I think Robinhood announced their partnership with Arbitrum, but the
All right.
speculation is that Robinhood is going to launch Arbitrum is a layer 2 of Ethereum.
Okay.
And I think what is going to happen is Robinhood is going to have its own chain or something.
Yeah,
where they're going to.
That's what they're working on.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
And so my concern is like, Gmail isn't even really real email. You know what I mean? But it's the largest email client in the world. But in terms of like what email is and the functionality that you should have with it, or at least the choices that you should have with it as a user, you don't have. And that's the same thing that is decentralized exchanges are doing. There's, besides taxing them on fees every which way, never giving them rewards, they're also not exposing you to the set of functionality that you should be in.
Plus, they chose 200. Why did they choose those certain 200?
Yeah. So I think it's good for the exposure of people to Bitcoin, but I would encourage people to, through whatever centralized rails that you put, or however you get your money, however you get your crypto, it's probably through a centralized way. Move it to a decentralized and
you don't want to get railed.
Custodial. Yeah, you don't want to get reamed or railed. Self-custody.
You know what? We should the next segment should just be like, you don't want to get railed, and that's our general act. I think it's inevitable. So it's not something to fight necessarily. It's something to critique and watch. And I had this discussion yesterday with a couple people older than me about AI, and they were like, no AI, no AI. I'm like, there's no point of you in arguing about it. It's happening. Like, how is it going to happen? And so to me, this is it's going to be on Robinhood. Like, if you want Bitcoin to evolve and become more mainstream and legitimate to the average person, and not kind of like this social club, or not social club, sorry, but that's how I felt. I felt like when that's why I was coming to you, it was kind of, the jargon was intentionally complicated, and and everything was so difficult. And if it wants to be mainstream, it has to somehow become more easier for a practical person. So it is inevitable to me, and that's why it's nothing to be like Robinhood entering the Bitcoin game, or JP Morgan, or Trump, or whatever. That's not something to debate really if it should happen or not. It's going to happen. It's just how. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, they're already in, that train has left the station. They're already in,
right.
And it's, I mean, There is, I think, I hope, a large enough core of people who are passionate about the original tenets of Bitcoin
Right.
and early Ethereum that will push the narrative of privacy and self custody and true decentralization forward and build truly decentralized and private tools. That is how, like, if the apps aren't there, if the tools aren't there, if the infrastructure isn't there, then it's not going to be there. There are some people working on the infrastructure that will support the apps that will hopefully hold these tenants. So the big behemoth of all of the traditional money coming in is already coming, and their fingers have been in the pie since the beginning. I referenced that Peter Thiel gave Vitalik the $100,000 grant to leave school and start Ethereum. So what are we really doing in the first place? It's interesting, right? But then there are other founders
Well, I
of
mean,
Ethereum that I think are very fucking cool.
that was my argument when I was talking about crypto with these same people. It was like the stock market has also been manipulated. I mean, the whole reason Bitcoin happened was because of Madoff and the 2008 crash. It was too big to fail. So
God
to
bless
say,
Bernie Madoff.
RIP. So to say that, only the Bitcoin, it's like, get real. I'm not saying that it's the same. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other. And I'm like, the stock market is regulated. I'm not saying like you shouldn't invest, but to say that it has been manipulated. I mean, Martha Stewart went to jail for manipulating. So whatever. I guess I don't want to get too much into that. But
insider trading, but yeah, I mean, it's
that's what I'm saying. It's insider trading. She's manipulating the market. She's, Trump just did a whole tariff thing where he took the tariffs, put the tariffs on. The billionaires complained publicly, and then he took the tariffs off, and all these billionaires got their money plus back because he must have told them, based on their investments, in my opinion, that he was doing that. And so everyone else lost money, and they made money, which is just like a rug pull, right? It's just like a pump and dump scheme. So this is Have a Take with Cher and Lake. I am Lake. I'm speaking with Cher. I'm the author of a recently published book called Morning Mist. It's the second volume in the classic series, Tailored in Blood. And volume 3 is coming out this year, hopefully. It's coming along really well. And I just want to say I just want to give some prices right now. So like Bitcoin price is at 109,800. Ethereum price is 6,420. Total market cap 3.56 trillion. That's up 12.4%.
What was the Ethereum price?
6,420, up 8.
That's not right. That's not right.
Okay. This is from an AI.
ETH has not been above 2,500 for. Or if it does go, it goes above 20. It has a magnet attached between 2,200 and 2,500, so it can't get it. It just physically can't get above 2,500 right now. But I think it's
so.
Something
Oh yeah, actually, so I just went on Google. It's 2,593. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
And so, AI, and so I'm not going to get any more from that. But it looks like it's a bull market. And so if you have crypto, you might be making some money this week. What do you think? Do you think it's a good time to invest, or maybe wait for a downturn?
I'm not here for investment advice. I would say, like, on the investment tip, overall, in general, if you're putting money in Bitcoin, you're going to win in the long term. That's just I think Bitcoin is...
Is Bitcoin a stable coin? Can we talk about that?
No. Stable coin refers to a coin that has a price pegged to some other commodity like the US dollar or gold or the euro.
And BTC is not that.
No, BTC is a free floating, the price of BTC is just based on the market demand. So I would say, like, is it a good time? Like, well, the dollar it's never going to be deflationary again. It doesn't look like. And the deficit in the United States is never going to be paid off. And the entire world economy rests on the back of the United States finance system not collapsing, or, on the back of the U.S. financial system. So I think that putting some thing into Bitcoin in a long-term sort of strategic thing it's probably good. But at any token's all-time high, like where Bitcoin is basically at, it's very hard to say like, yeah, this is the time because
Well, I mean, not all
it
of us
could
have
very
110,000.
well go up.
Yeah, not all of us
No,
have
but again, you could
$110,000.
always buy a fraction. Remember that
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
goes to an 18 decimal points, and you like. I encourage like that's the best way to do things is buy $5 at a time through a $10.
So you could buy
at a time.
$5 of Bitcoin right now.
You can, yeah. I mean, you're gonna get like you have to look at the fees and how they're getting.
No, I'm just saying like that. Like I know you didn't mean
Yeah.
like exactly $5, but like.
Of course, like the fees sometimes make it so like that, but you have to do some math on it. But like, there's some number where it's like you could just do like a quote unquote negligent amount, but you know, everyone's definition of that is different. But something where it's not going to make an impact on your daily spend, but you're stacking sats, as the Bitcoin lovers like to say, is like you're slowly stacking your Bitcoin, and anybody who is doing that over time in the history of Bitcoin is up big.
I just want to make just make sure I got corrected. That the Ethereum price is, according to Google, 2,593.67. The other, I don't know where that other number came from. I'll do better next time. So, anything else to end this wonderful episode?
You know, I just want to thank our viewers again. Like, I think we're getting consistently more and more live stream views. Somebody's watching our shows on YouTube. It's not huge numbers yet. Well, I mean, like I think we're a nascent show. We're just starting out. This came together, through like rekindling a longtime friendship. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So thank you to the viewers and the people who are sharing and watching. And we do love hearing feedback on what you might want us to cover. What you might want to. How much you hate us is fine too.
Or even like if I
critical
like
feedback of
I just misquoted a price. Say I'm full of shit, please. We love it.
Yeah. It's your indifference that we're trying to avoid. So I don't follow me on Twitter. Follow Lake. I'll throw our stuff up on the screen here, but I'm very comfy and share. And Lake is dude_light Lake. And other than that, I really don't have much. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be safe over the holiday weekend here that's approaching for our
250th birthday friends. Of America.
Incredible. Otherwise, there are some of that. We have some things we want to talk about in terms of transhumanism at all. Next week we'll get into some more basic.
Hopefully America will be here another 250. Hopefully, it'll be here another 250 years. So
we'll see. I guess we'll see.
I will. I don't know. I'm gonna get my conscious downloaded and put it into a robot, and so I'll be here. I don't know about you, Cher, but I'm ready for it.
I haven't made that decision yet, but I'm leaning towards nah. Well, we'll see you all next time. This has been Have a Take with Cher and Lake, and thank you very much. It's been very fun as always.
Is pork. This is a market for decentralized forms of pork. If people were pork, their assets would be going up because there would be demand for pork.